Hey, just an update here before I have to run out for the night. So this is something that I elevated earlier today, something that on its face seemed to be extremely scary. This Politico reporting and NBC and DevX and everyone reporting this email from USAID Executive Secretary Erica Carr telling everyone at USAID to shred and burn the documents in their safes. Some of these are classified documents, personnel records. The language in the email is looks wild on its face. An all-day group effort to destroy documents, including classified safes, personnel documents. Shred as many documents as first. Reserve burn bags from when the shredder becomes unavailable or needs a break. What I've heard from my contacts at USAID, and several of them have reached out in the past hour, is that they perceive this process to be normal and that it is pretty much standard fare in terms of deletion of documents, periodic review. The building itself is shutting down right now. The Ronald Reagan building and USAID's perched there. USAID is in the process of shutting it down and leaving, and so in theory, this process of clearing out the documents has to be done at some point anyway. I have lingering concerns about this, and I don't know how severe it is because I'm not in the room. When I look at Erica Carr's bio, and I see that the executive secretary who's carrying this out, Erica Carr, who has no presence on X, was named on January 22nd, 2021. That's 2 days into Biden's presidency. Is the same position now held by that she occupies now under Donald Trump. I think, okay, she started there under Obama, was named executive secretary under Biden just 2 days into Biden's term. And it was Biden's USAID that was weaponized against everything Trump world. I don't like to see someone with that bio running that process unless I know they're really, really vetted, unless they've got some sort of public track record I can point to. And without a presence on X, it's really hard to see that and to get that comfort. So here's basically where I am on this. I understand that with the building shutting down, you do need to do something with these documents, and that there is a standard process for shredding and burning documents, including classified documents, to the extent that there is a digital duplicate from the originating agency. So, for example, if USAID is looking at a State Department cable or a CIA analyst memo, state and CIA or DOD, whoever it is, should have a copy of that digitally as well, if USAID has a copy of that, but not all the time. For example, the USAID administrator has the power to classify documents, so the originating agency for the classification would be USAID. We don't know how many documents Samantha Power at USAID classified internally at USAID, where there may not be a corresponding paper trail at state or at DOD or at the IC level. We don't know how much that is. Frankly, that's something for the House Intelligence Committee or the Senate Intelligence Committee to get an answer on. Because in theory, were that the case, then USAID would be effectively the only agency who's looking at that document. And if that record is destroyed in this process, well, then there goes the record permanently. And then I also have an issue right now with going through with the standard normal clearing of documents, even if it is standard and normal. Standard and normal in national security speak is how things get lost. We saw this play out with Operation Crossfire Hurricane, when the standard normal system update, as soon as Durham launches investigation, you had Crossfire Hurricane, all the text messages, everything on the phones was cleared in a normal system update. The FBI is religious about losing sensitive information through these sorts of digital glitches and system updates and corrupted files. is another big one. So it's very possible if you delete the paper records to be left with only a digital archive, and then something gets corrupted at the digital archive serendipitously. And now you don't have a paper trail to back it up. It's really a similar issue with the paper ballots. And right now, since you are clearing out the agency, it's more important than ever to preserve what's left of the paper record. And so I don't take comfort in the normalcy of that process. That's bitten the American people in the butt too hard, too many times. And you have this situation where if they're not going to be producing new records, I don't know why these couldn't just be effectively, stored in the National Records Archive to be sorted out where you're not under the time gun of having it all done, one day and in a rush and in a sort of fire sale environment just to get out of the building. The USAID record provides a forensic crime scene investigation of all the ways in which all the other aspects of the foreign policy establishment were weaponized against the American people and against our allies abroad. And that record has to be pristine. And we've seen these digital records fail too many times. And so I don't know that I would call this a 5-alarm fire at this point, given how many people who I know and trust within USAID who are giving me reassurances that this is a normal process. But like I said, I don't trust the normal process. I don't like this being done in a rush. The Politico reporting suggested that this is not a perfectly normal process as it's playing out. And I have open questions about who exactly is running the process, given that Marco Rubio is in Saudi Arabia today, and all we know about Erica Carr, the acting executive secretary who sent this out, is not something that I would ordinarily extend a huge amount of trust to in terms of implementing records review. And I would also note it's the executive secretaries who usually have the access to the vaults and are sometimes cohorts in this. We saw this with the Whitey Bulger case. I'll link down below an example of when the special agent in charge and the secretary are able to maintain these vaults. And if there is something that Samantha Power did, I'm not sure that I would trust that to someone who isn't deeply embedded in the White House in terms of knowing what kind of records to preserve and kill. All right, that's it for now.